Oh, you see this rapper in Paris? Newspaper today? Oh. Oh my god! With all the things we hear in news media, I don't want to go out anymore in the night.
When sex scandal or natural disaster are in headline, for example, it increase suddenly sell or listening. Difficult to resist to the temptation to put in the first page. The subject more seller are show business, sex, sport and blood. The blood on everything that concerns the fear is probably the most lucrative at all. Today we will speak about how the media use our fear. We will explain how our feeling of insecurity can be turned because of the media. We will also show how critical sense increase because of the use of this feeling. And we ask only one question. Did the people want to know the terrific truth?
I think that media give us a sentiment of fear. When you read the headlines, it's like gunshot in Marseille or gunshot in Paris or whatever, or maybe even in the United States. It's worse. And I think that the media are creating this sentiment of fear.
Sometimes media is scaring me about things that are maybe not relevant to me. If they are saying that there is an increase in violence in France.
Give us fearing or frightened.
Ils me rassurent pas, ils me font pas peur. En fait, je choisis ce que je regarde à la télé, je choisis ce que je lis, je choisis mes médias.
Like news and the media, sometimes I feel very afraid because I think it's not only me, but I have my friends that when we are seeing what's happening in the world, we are getting more and more unsure. We are not 100% feel free to go out, especially in the evening, in the big town like Paris.
It seems that news media are using fear-mongering, which is a way to create fear, to amplifying the facts, because mainly we don't have to forget that news media are companies that need to make money.
Stop it! You don't see the video with the girl with the hole? It's so terrific. You see the girl after she smoked all this life. She's like a zombie.
Really?
Yeah, but
Are you sure it's true?
Yeah, I think so. I looked that in the TV.
Oh, okay, so maybe it's true. Maybe I should stop.
And I used to be a smoker. I want to give you some tips about getting ready in the morning. Love your name. Then your head redefined.
Mad cow disease shows very well the difficulty for the journalists to stand back with events, especially when they are linked to crises or sanitary crises. The scientists express publicly their doubts and their fears, and then the users of school canteens ask for removing beef, and we observed disturbing tabloids like "Beef can kill you," or "Why our children die." So the media reflected very well the public opinion ex ante. And also farmers became very aggressive towards politics because of the impact of media on their activities. And the consequences were the decrease of 11% of the beef consumption. So maybe these crises had positive consequences because people are more demanding, they ask for better information on the food.
An example we can give about scandals created by news media is the one of new generation contraceptive pills that create a big crisis and scandal to the woman, and for example increase considerably the rate of medical
They increase the idea of insecurity. They create a common enemy to justify the government decision. For example, when it comes the fact of national security, for example, war on terrorism in Iraq, the entire media machine supports the government's decision.
Took the babies out of the incubators. Took the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
This girl testified in every media that the Iraqi soldiers have killed many babies. It was to justify the US government to attack Iraq. In fact, it was a setup organized by the Americans.
Paris, quartier de la Bastille. Les enquêteurs arrivent au pied de l'immeuble du suspect, situé dans une cité du nord de Paris.
Nous sommes donc en France.
Ces vols ont augmenté de 40% ces 2 dernières années. Principale cible des voleurs, les personnes âgées.
Sauf que la vidéo qu'ils utilisent pour illustrer la violence à Paris date de 2005 et est disponible sur tous les bons YouTube. La scène se passe à Washington. L'affaire avait fait la une de tous les journaux.
I like news media. We can know everything, anytime, and inform us is very nice.
Yes, and I think the role of media is to inform us, to learn us to recognize bad situations. And for example, advertising show how to protect ourselves in the everyday life, and media try also to reassure us, showing that measures of security are everywhere, police, camera, and that criminals are arrested.
During the catastrophe of Chernobyl in 1996, the radioactive cloud would have stopped at France's border, and real facts and risks were minimized. But in other countries, in Europe, it was forbidden to consume some products like fresh vegetables. But in France, there was no precaution taken at all. Why? Maybe to not worry people, in order to avoid the indemnity of people, or just because of the powerful lobby of nuclear. But we can be sure that news media information were linked to state economy interests.
Supposedly protected by backwinds. Did we notice something above France's territory? No, because winds don't go towards the direction. Winds turn the opposite clockwise. People don't have to worry, there is any danger for the population. 20 years later, France discovered on its territory, and particularly in Corse, several cases of sick people suffering from thyroid cancers, similar to the ones observed in the Chernobyl region.
This reflection started with the fact that a Frenchman lodged a complaint against the channel TV Arte because he discovered through documentaries the truth about sanitary rules or, for example, cattle industries. Moreover, a lot of people are changing their habits because of what they discover through news media. For example, the scandal of how coats and clothes in fur are creating after the torture of animals like rabbits, foxes. But finally, we can say that people, if they don't want to see those images or know this truth, they can just try to not hear about everything in media, even though it's difficult as there are more and more around us. But even more important is that we can choose our media, and we can choose even more to trust or not what they are saying, and to have a critical sense.
When we listen to the news media, we can have a feeling of fear and some apocalyptic vision of the world. But we don't have to forget that news media are owned by companies and are dependent to political interest. But even if we can be scared by some facts or images, it's important to be informed in a way to take precaution. The number of information sources kept increasing thanks to internet, so we have to be careful of selecting the good information in the middle of all the one we have access.